We are the champions, my friend. That's right. The moment I've been waiting for. Tears of joy. Philly, the parade, all shut down. Oh man, we are champions. Broad Street. A parade happened down Broad Street, man. I didn't think this would happen. I didn't know. I knew we'd be a pretty good team. I knew our offense would be good, but I didn't think we would win and not only win the Super Bowl at the start of the year, beat those damn Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But as always, before we get into it, I am joined by Steven Amplo. How are we doing?
Yep, I'm here. I'm a depressed Giants fan. The Birds won the Super Bowl, but congrats. Got to give you guys kudos. You guys had a hell of a year. Saquon did his damn thing. Now he's the highest paid boy as a running back. So, yeah, you guys deserved it. It was a hell of a year for you guys. You know, you battled through adversity, but at the end of the day, you guys are world champions. How does that sound?
Sounds damn good to me. Sounds damn good to me. You know, I got my Super Bowl champion shirt from Fanatics. This episode is brought to you by Fanatics. We're definitely not sponsored. We're definitely not getting paid for this, but
What are you talking about?
no, we're making business moves. Nah, but all seriousness going into the game, like before the year, like we were like 2-2, came out of the bye. We had struggled with the Cleveland Browns that stunk. It was like one of the last games Deshaun Watson played, and I remember Nick Sirianni was Philadelphia fans, even myself, like he was yelling at the fans and stuff. We're calling for his job. They wanted him gone, and then they
Yep.
turned it around from that point, and they win the Super Bowl. It's unbelievable. As a guy that was like in and out of, like in with him, out of Nick Sirianni, didn't want anything to do with him. I'm all the way back pretty much. He proved me wrong. Yeah, he did a good job. The coordinators, Kellen Moore, Vic Fangio all year. I'm glad to see Vic Fangio back with the team. I think he was vital, and yeah, losing Kellen Moore is going to be a blow. We didn't think he would have that big of a impact schematically. We saw what he did with Dallas. Like, he had a good passing attack, but they adjusted during the year. They're like, Saquon's killing it. We got to be a run first team. And then he gave the Eagles a whole new identity. Kellen Moore changed up, and he proved he was a good play caller, and he got the Saints job. And it wasn't all Kellen Moore's fault, Dallas fans. It was not. It might have been your quarterback. It might be Dak. I'm taking my shots. Let's go into the game, shall we? I'm just rambling. um, where do I begin? Where do I begin with the game? Yeah, I mean, shit. Champions, baby. I did not expect that score to happen. I could not sit down. I could not relax until like 8 minutes left in the fourth. I'm like, okay, I think we got it. I could not relax. I just with Mahomes and Andy Reid, I just thought they would have a chance in any game, and they just kept taking it to him. Another guy was like hard on critical of Jalen Hurts. This playoffs, he played really, really well. He stepped up when we needed him. He balled his ass off for his team. He played really well. He only had one bad play. It was that interception where they disguised the coverage. The safety rotated over. He made a nice interception, and a blitz came, and that was the only bad play he made. Like the dime to Devontae Smith was a great play. It sealed the game right there. His ability to escape on third downs was crucial. He picked up the first down with his legs, and he played really, really well. And during that Super Bowl, Steve Spagnuolo dared Jalen Hurts to beat him. He's like, Saquon, we're gonna load up the box with like 7-8 guys. We're gonna stop the run. And Jalen Hurts, you're gonna have to beat us, and he did. He played one of his best games I've ever seen him play. So kudos to him, man. Yeah, I'm just big props to him. We got our franchise guy. He can win a couple more for us, but he'll always be a city legend. So yeah, I'm very happy for him, and that was an awesome moment. But you could chime in here, Steve. What's your thoughts, Giants fan perspective? I guess
Yeah.
I don't know if you were a neutral party. Maybe you wanted the Chiefs to win, but
Oh, I definitely wanted the Chiefs to win
yeah,
for sure. But did I think they were going to win? No, you saw my prediction video. I thought the Eagles were going to win. I thought they were the better team. And yeah, from start to finish, they showed it. They were up 40-6 at one point. Like they dominated the whole game. You
yeah,
gotta give them kudos. Yeah, Vic Fangio had that defense balling out. Cooper DeJean with the pick six. Zach Bond just causing turnover after turnover. The Chiefs offensive line did not hold up at all. Like having Joe Thuney at left tackle, like it
yeah.
just wasn't, a recipe for success for the Chiefs there. And, Travis Kelce wasn't having a great game. He was dropping passes, did
Oh,
not look
awful.
like himself. And yeah, Patrick Mahomes, he didn't look great until what, the fourth quarter when it was garbage time. It was
No,
going against the backups. Like he was
that was the
just,
worst game I ever seen him play.
he was
That
seeing
that was the
ghosts. He was
worst,
seeing ghosts. Yeah, that
and I
was,
never seen Pat Mahomes have a bad game. That was the
yeah,
worst
he
game he
was
ever played.
flustered, man. He didn't know what to do.
I think they got one first down that opening possession, and then
Yeah,
three and
like
out. Like he almost threw a pick on that third down. He rolled right. He threw it in, and like two Eagles guys converged on it. They couldn't come up with an interception there. But yeah, the D line that was like yeah, Brandon Graham came back. I'm beyond happy for him that he got to go out. He retired. He got to go out as a champion. Super happy. One of my favorite Eagles of all time for sure. That was awesome. But yeah, that D line, John, Jalen Carter, and them boys, Mel Williams, Josh Sweat, even the rookie Jalen Tugg got in there a little bit. Nolan Smith got in there. They were wreaking havoc on him, and that's a young defensive line. They were getting a lot of pressure on him, and it was sort of like that Tampa Bay Super Bowl where they came in with two backup tackles, that Super Bowl against Brady, and Mahomes was running for his life trying to make plays. But in this time around, I thought he played a worse game than that. Like, yeah, I didn't see it coming where he would throw the pick six. Like that whole series leading up to the pick six, it was like sack, another sack, and then a pick six. It's just an unbelievable sequence for that defense. That's really while the offense was struggling to come along a little bit, kind of like what I was alluding to. They were trying to find their identity, and it became a run first team. The defense was really stepping up. They were keeping us in ball games. Yeah, the defense been playing lights out all year. Gotta give a shout out to CJ, Quinyon, Cooper, all them boys played really, really well. Um, yeah, it was just an awesome game. But
yeah,
just on the Kansas City side, like Mahomes played a bad game. I know he'll bounce back from that. And one thing I didn't like to see was like all the Tom Brady GOAT supporters, like Patriots, Buccaneers fans were all saying like, "Oh, Brady would never do that. Brady is the GOAT." Yeah, Brady is probably is the greatest quarterback of all time as it stands right now. But don't forget, Mahomes has 3 Super Bowls. He still has time left to go. Don't write him off just yet. He's still got plenty of time left to catch him. So I didn't like closing the book on that just yet because I already
yeah,
think he's
too early yet. He's not
yeah,
even
I think
30.
he's too good. And yeah, and Travis Kelsey, man, he was like not into the game at all. Like he didn't feel
Yeah,
like he wanted to be
he's out
out
of sync.
there. He was dropping passes. There was even plays where Mahomes was scrambling and he just gave up on a block for him. He just didn't look like he just looked defeated. It was a rough performance for him. He's coming back for one more year, but if I'm Kansas City and watch that, I'll be like, bro, I don't think I want you back after that. I would probably just move off from him from there. But I get it. They want to do right by him and give him a proper like farewell tour because after that, I know the end of Travis Kelsey's coming sooner than rather than later.
Yeah. But yeah, all in all, the Eagles deserved it, man. They were the better team. Yeah, and Nick Sirianni, like, hell of a season, like turning that team around. Like, yeah,
Proved a
this
lot of
time
people wrong.
last year, we thought, why the hell are they keeping him? And look at him now, hoisting up the Lombardi Trophy, most
Yeah,
winningest coach in Eagles history, right?
he's like
So
top 3 or 5
And
like in
yeah,
NFL
like
history.
that's wild. And I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure he's been to the playoffs every year as a head coach,
every
right?
year. Yeah.
Like
Yeah, the
you
first
gotta
year.
give him credit where man when credit's due. Like hell of a year.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been in the playoff every year. I think he lost to
He lost to the Bucks.
Brady the first year at
Yep.
home.
Then he lost to the
Or yeah,
Chiefs.
at home, I think.
Lost to the Chiefs Super Bowl.
Yep.
And
And then we lost
then
to
he
Tampa
lost to the
Bay.
Bucks
Yeah.
again. And then they went and beat the Chiefs. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. Like
Yeah, it was just so fitting.
gotta credit Howie Roseman building that team up, all the moves he
Yeah,
made in the
it's
draft,
it's pretty.
Quinyon, Cooper, just
Yeah, man.
everything
It's
as a
it's
whole. They're a
it's
well-run organization.
they
Got to
are.
have to.
The owner and the GM are in sync. A lot of it with these contracts with where you're like, why did the Eagles? How could they sign this guy and that guy? It's a lot of it is like the owner's willing to put up. Jeffrey Lawrence is willing to put up a lot of guaranteed dollars, a lot of money up front in the contract, so that way, as it stretches out, like the cap hits in the beginning are not as bad, and the cap hits aren't really as bad. And if you look at Dallas, like Dak Prescott is like a $60 million cap hit, and that's just all due to giving the money up front, most of it, and then that way it doesn't have implications on the cap on your team. So there's ways to maneuver it, and Howie and his team are great at maneuvering that cap, and you gotta give Jeffrey Lurie credit for one, just wanting to win a Super Bowl and willing to put up a lot of money up front for like Jalen Hurts, for AJ Brown, like the big money guys. So gotta give him a lot of credit for that. Um,
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's awesome stuff, man.
yeah. They just find ways to get better each and every year. They learn from their mistakes and they build their roster and they sign these 1 year prove it deals and some
Yeah.
might stay, some might go, and they just find a way to even losing Jason Kelsey and Fletcher Cox and all those guys, like they found ways to replace them with Jalen Carter, Cam Jerkins, right? So they're just a well
Next man
run
up.
organization, and then signing Saquon as like pretty much the final puzzle piece to pretty much hoist
Mm-hmm.
up that Lombardi trophy. Like he was the guy you were missing there on offense, and it was just hard to defend you guys. Like, how you gonna stop us? We got one of the best offensive lines in the league. We could run the ball with Saquon, or we can beat you over the top with AJ, Devontae, also Dallas Goedert in the mix. So like they just
Yeah.
found ways to win games and they did a hell of a job. And yeah, excited to see what they could do again this year. Like I think they're definitely in contention for repeating. With how weak the NFC is, there's not really like that many, I would say, like top dogs to contend with you guys. Like right now, like
Mm-hmm.
it would be the Rams, the Commanders again.
Commander. Yeah, I like what they did this offseason.
Like what they did.
Debo and
Lions will be back. They're going to be healthy on
yeah,
defense.
but that Ben Johnson loss, I think, is huge.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Like
The
that's what
Niners
I'm
are
saying. The Eagles, they pretty much remain intact. You could say maybe Kellen Moore might be a loss for them. We'll see. Who's the new OC? They hired
They
someone from him, right? Yeah.
they promoted Kevin Patullo, who was like the passing game coordinator, like a Nick Sirianni guy from like when he first got here.
Okay.
Apparently, according to like Howard Eskin, like he's a really smart coach. Guy that earned like a lot of trust. AJ Brown was like we took to Twitter, was a big supporter, co-signed that move. So yeah, I mean it's a little bit like a big question mark. We got to see what he does, but
Yeah.
honestly, yeah, I think you have your identity already set. Say play through Saquon first, and then that opens up everything else. It makes it easier for Hurts, for him making the right reads, and AJ Brown, the O line. Yeah, I think they found the formula on offense and the defense. They lost some guys, so they got to replenish that in the draft a little bit. Fix got to have them ready to play, ready to roll. Who knows? I know we're also in the mix a little bit. Justin Simmons could come here. He has the connection with Vic from the Denver days, Denver Broncos day. Maybe he comes in as a signing later on in the off season. So a lot remains to be seen, but Yeah, couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier for sure. I definitely enjoyed that.
Now, did you go to the parade?
I,
Did
I
you?
wasn't. I did not. I was not
You weren't
there.
in attendance
I
on
was not in attendance.
Valentine's Day
I was not
in
in
the city of
attendance.
brotherly love? That's all right, man.
No, I was not. I was not, man. Um, did I want to? Yeah, I kind of wanted to, but with like the large crowds like that, you can never be too sure. It's a lot. It's a large gathering of people,
Million
and
people
you
that
you
day.
never you never know. Like someone could be like, oh, I could get a. It's like you get a lot of kills that way, or someone could go in and just ruin it, and it could be a mass shooting. So yeah, I get it. It's a great moment. I got to watch it from TV. I got to see the interviews that way, but
Yeah,
maybe I'll try to get out to a game next year though, for sure. Maybe I'll go to banner night, open
there
opening
you
night.
go.
Maybe I'll make it up that way.
There you go.
But yeah, it
Who do
was
you want to play week one?
awesome.
Who do you want to open Thursday night football with?
I think the Commanders could be cool. Just because it's like an NFC Championship, NFC East rematch. I think that would be cool. Now the NFL always does like a marquee, like it'll be a good opponent. I think uh who knows, like maybe
Maybe the
Detroit,
Lions.
maybe
Yeah,
the Rams.
NFC
Maybe
Championship
the
we got
Rams come
robbed
back.
of.
Actually, I don't know if the game's in LA or that game might be in Australia, the Rams game. I'm not
Oh
sure.
yeah,
I
I'm thinking it's gonna
yeah.
be the Lions because
I think
everyone
it's
wanted to see that an NFC Championship game, the game we got robbed of.
well,
So,
they robbed themselves. They
well, yeah, I
lost.
know,
They
I know.
lost to Jaden motherfucking Daniels,
Well,
which
I
no
know.
shame, no shame in that. No shame in that.
They're saying if they had a
He's the
healthy
best
defense, they
He
would
is
have
the
been
best
there.
quarterback in the NFC East. Still, he's still one of my favorite players in the league.
Mr.
I will always
Unlimited.
back that guy.
Mr.
Um,
Unlimited.
yeah, my top quarterbacks in the NFC East: Daniels, Hurts, Dak, and then Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited. Unlimited
but
diarrhea.
but I've been seeing. I've just been. It's been a hell of a ride the last few years. Like beating Brady back in that Super Bowl and beating Mahomes now. Two of like the all-time greats that they're gonna go down. It's like maybe one of them's gonna be a goat. Tom Brady's already a goat. Maybe Mahomes passing, but like two goats of the quarterback, man. It's awesome. It's cool. It's cool to have that in your franchise. Like, oh, we beat two great quarterbacks for our Super Bowl
Yeah.
wins. So it's awesome. You always live with that, and it was a complete different Super Bowl from the Brady one back in 2017, 2018. That
This
one
one
was a
was
nail biter. This one was a
utter
blowout.
dominance.
This one was a dominant one.
Yep.
Um, if you were to ask me which one I enjoyed more, that would be tough. But I think I would go with the first one.
The first one. It was a better game.
Yeah,
That was the
I get
first
it. A lot of Eagles fans are like just the dominance of it and getting your revenge back. Like, yeah, don't forget that Patriots game was a revenge from 2004 when Dawkins and
Yeah.
McNabb lost, but they just
Yep.
got it a lot later with Nick Foles and Alshon
That's
Jeffrey,
another thing. Yeah,
LeGarrette
with your
Blunt.
Super Bowls, you played the same team twice,
Yeah, we normally get them in the rematch.
which is that's something
It's
pretty
cool.
cool.
It's cool, but the Giants, you got Brady twice and you beat him, and Brady never got you back, so that's also really cool too. They beat him
Yeah.
twice, so we could both say we beat Brady in the Super Bowl, so we could
Yes.
each acknowledge each other there. That's awesome, but yeah, I've been seeing that. I'm like, the first one was just magical. This one was like dominant. The first one was just magical
First one had the Philly
because the
special.
Hail Mary at the end, you're like, oh shit, that ball
Yeah.
actually hit the ground. We actually
Yep.
fucking won. And then I always go back to how big of a Kobe Bryant fan I am. Like that video surfaces of him holding his daughter, and he's like, "Holy shit, we fucking won! We fucking won!"
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
yeah, that's a tearjerker video. But yeah, and the strip sack, like you said, that led to like the sack Ertz touchdown. Just in the Philly special, I think it was just more iconic of the Super Bowl. Um, so I would go with that one, but I understand why you could pick this one though. Just from offense to defense, they dominated, and like the score doesn't indicate what it was. Like yeah, Mahomes had a nice bomb to like Worthy at the end. That was sick. And like we all know he could do that, man. That was against our backups. Nick Sirianni pulled the starters, but yeah, that was just a dominant performance, and the score doesn't indicate that really, but it
Yeah.
was. And the halftime show was cool too. I enjoyed that. I was like, man, if we lose with like one of my favorite artists, Kendrick Lamar, performing, I would be really upset. So I got the halftime show and I got a win, so I was very happy about that.
Yeah, man. You can't complain. You had a great day on February 9th, and so did Mr. Saquon winning on his birthday.
And Cooper
So
DeSheen
and
too.
Cooper, can't forget. I think
Yeah,
he got a pick six in the
and,
bowl.
and don't forget, like, yeah, he didn't have like the numbers in this game Saquon did, but his presence
Yeah,
and
he
his
wasn't
impact
even much of a
was
factor in this
it
game.
was felt because of how Spagnuolo wanted to stop him at all
Yeah,
costs, and
they stopped the
they
run, but
did
they
contain
couldn't
him.
stop the pass.
They did contain him, but it let Hurts. He made good reads. He made good throws to AJ. The bomb to Devontae Smith was perfect. It was the nail in the coffin, and him scrambling using his legs. Yeah, I think it just opened up like can dual threat. Remember the whole conversation? Can dual threat quarterbacks really win? Well, you saw it with Hurts. They can with the right system, with the right pieces around them,
Yep.
doing it the right way. Which is
Myth
why
busted.
now why Jalen Milrow is probably getting a lot of good looks now because his 40 time was ridiculous. That's why the Steelers and other teams might take him late one, second
Yeah,
round now
that's why they
because
had dinner with them.
yeah. So yeah, like Lamar can get it done without a doubt. He's top three in my opinion, and Josh Allen. And I think now with like the Chiefs and everything, I think the AFC it's time now. It's time. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. It's time to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That's my challenge to them. You gotta. I think they're a little bit vulnerable now. The Chiefs are. I think we maybe we expose some things there, things to take advantage of. But yeah, I think you gotta go to the bowl. We want to. Plus, we want to see Lamar or Josh Allen, and we did get Joe Burrow. That was cool. I like to see him back and try to win, but I want to see Lamar and Josh on that stage for sure.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now I have one question for you. We have to revisit this question.
Okay. Sure.
Is Jalen Hurts a top 10 quarterback now?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was during the season, he really wasn't playing top 10, but
Is he
honestly,
is he better than Brock Purdy now?
how could you not put him above Brock Purdy now? That's just the thing. He showed up when it mattered most, and that always matters more. Like his play, it elevated during the playoffs. Like the regular season, maybe it looked like he kind of coasted. The team was good. He had some good games. Like that Bengals game, he was good. He had some good moments, some good games, but he also had his play was inconsistent. So that's why I was like, he might not be top 10. He might be more in the bottom towards at the outside a little bit. But the way that he played and the way that he elevated the team, a lot of that has to do with the great supporting cast that's around them, which I don't think knocks anything out because you still got to make the throws, still got to make the correct calls. Like he's doing a lot of checks at the line. He's doing a lot of changes. He's changing the play. So he's taking control and he's doing a really good job. If I would have to put him in the top, I think he's outside the top five. I think my top five is Mahomes at one. I got Allen or Lamar two or three. I got Burrow four. I got Jalen Daniels over him at five. I got Jalen Daniels at five. And from there, I either have him. It's either Hurts at six or Stafford at six. They're six or seven, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's where he is
Okay.
because he's done it. You know, he's got a Super Bowl and Stafford's got a Super Bowl, and that matters. Is what you've done. Have you won a Super Bowl, and that holds a lot of weight. So, and the talent
Yeah.
ability. So, and the guys in the top five, I think, all could win the Super Bowl. So, I know, and they have a lot of confidence, and I think Jalen Daniels' potential's through the roof. So that's why I have the top five like that, and I have Hurts at like six or seven in the top 10.
I like that. Yeah, I wanted to revisit that question because I know you were like contemplating during the season, is he a top 10 quarterback?
Yeah.
Now that what we saw in the
Well,
playoffs,
Baker was one of them too, right? Is he? I was like, maybe Baker Mayfield's better, but you saw Baker at home against Commanders. He couldn't get it done. He fumbled.
yeah,
I still like Baker, but maybe he's top 10 still. But and Jared Goff too. He had an awful playoff game against the Commanders. Like turnovers he had. So I think Hurts earned the right to be above those guys, and Jordan Love and CJ Stroud for now. Like he earned that right to be above him. Right now, like I said, it's just between him and Stafford are like 6 or 7. They're interchangeable to me. If you said Stafford, I'm totally cool with that. I either put him 6 or 7. That's where I would have him.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I think I agree with you. Like your list is pretty much on par with mine. I don't know what my top 10 will look like, but yeah, I think Hurts not in the top 5 yet, but like he's in that top 7 for sure. I put him in the top 7.
yeah,
It's interchangeable. It's just
like
tough
yeah,
because like with him being on the team that he's on with all the playmakers that he has, so
yeah,
it's
like
just hard to evaluate it.
like the top 5. They're just so talented in different ways and unique ways. Not to say Hurts is not talented, but I just don't think like his talent level's up to those guys in the top 5. But he's done it, so he'll have that over those guys, and it puts a lot of pressure on those guys to perform. So I don't know. It's always that top 10, top 5 conversations are always interchangeable. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's where I stand on it. But he's a hard ass worker. He deserves to be top 10. Um, yeah, I mean, good shit from him. He proved the doubters wrong for sure. So can't be more than happier for that guy.
yeah. Well,
And yeah, man,
I
champions.
think we can end it there. The Eagles are world champions. They got the job done, beat the Chiefs. And yeah, you're a happy man, and I'm a depressed Giants fan. But with that being
Yeah,
said,
it's going to
hopefully,
take a
guys,
little bit till you get back to that Super Bowl
just a little bit,
contenders.
next 20 years or so, it's okay. But yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully, you guys did enjoy. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, do the good stuff you guys always do. We got Linktree, socials, everything, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, however you want to listen, or YouTube. We're here.
we're
Any
here.
final words, Justin, before we end
Uh,
off this lovely video?
I just can't believe John Cena's a bad guy. My
Yes,
childhood's ruined.
John Cena is heel.
He's a heel.
WrestleMania on Easter is going to be legendary.
Yes, maybe we'll make a WrestleMania prediction video in the
There we
offseason.
go. There we go. That's the content the Benchwire family wants to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Subscribe, and we'll catch you guys later. Benchwire.
Out.